But now it gets weirder. Jan Brewer in a July interview made the reference to, as Lyle said, a rash of beheadings on the border, that there are headless torsos. Take a listen to this.
We cannot afford all this illegal immigration and everything that comes with it, everything from the crime into the drugs and the kidnappings and the extortion and the beheadings and the fact that people can't feel safe in their communities. It's wrong.
Which beheadings in Arizona were you referring to?
Oh, our law enforcement agencies have found bodies in the desert, either buried or just lying out there, that have been beheaded.
What we hear from politicians in the course of this debate on national news is a picture of Arizona that seems to be far from what many folks experience. I could not find any beheadings in any kind of news search in Arizona.
And so in the debate Wednesday night, her opponent, Terry Goddard, running against her for governor, calls her out on the beheadings issue. Take a listen to this.
Our governor has said such negative things about our state. And Jan, I call upon you today to say that there are no beheadings. That was a false statement, and it needs to be cleared up right now.
And you know, Terry, I will call you out. I think that you ought to renounce your support and endorsement of the unions that are boycotting our state.
As soon as she emerged from the debate, I asked her, why wouldn't you recant the comment you've made earlier about the beheadings in the desert?
That's a serious question, Governor.
Well, this was an interesting evening tonight.
She doesn't answer.
Please answer the question. About the headless bodies. Why won't you recant that? You still believe that? Come on, Governor.
Okay, thank you all.
Governor, what do you make?
Those reporters sound like spoiled children, don't they? Oh, but I mean, I don't know. I feel as if whatever side of this you're on, and I got to say, Lyle Larson, I know that you found her impressive in other settings. To me, this looks like somebody that's in over her head. I mean, whether she's right or wrong about SB 1070, and I don't agree with it, but I don't think she's the best person to carry that message or carry that water. In this debate, she just looked like somebody that shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, I think she lost her head. No pun intended.
People forget that she signed that thing because she pretty much had to.
Yeah.
She's the new governor. She's a Republican. The legislature overwhelmingly passed it. What was she going to do?
And she's looking at polling numbers of people that were saying they're supporting 70% of the Arizonans. If you look at the violence, and it was funny that issue has been brought up this morning because we had 25 people killed on the Texas border yesterday, and you look at the beheadings. The beheadings have happened in El Paso. What's been reported is, and there have been mass graves where people have been beheaded. So she could have referred to that, but I don't think that she had the reference point in Arizona. But there have been beheadings, and it's been going on for years on the Mexican-Texas border. But it's been the El Paso sector that I've seen the issue addressed. So, but I think she got caught telling a story, and that's essentially what happened. And she couldn't give any reference point back to the reporters to substantiate the fact that it was happening in Arizona. Anytime you reach out like that,
you got to be careful.
Yeah, you need to because
Ann
your
is on the
credibility
phone.
shot.
And you're saying that this all is making you like Jan Brewer more?
Yes, Jack. Actually, see, as an ordinary person, we have appreciation for her character, number one. That's more important than any schmaltzy, stylistic speaking. We appreciate she's giving a speech. She's under extreme pressure, and that just makes me like her more.
So this is like a real person, or she's showing a human frailty.
No, I don't consider it frailty. She's dealing with more than we can even imagine. So for us to want some slick politician up there who can handle the public spotlight, we want her character more than a real glitzy or glossy speaking. You understand?
Not really. I mean, what you're telling me is if a person can't answer a question, that shows that they might have character?
Well, no. She did answer the question. She paused. A lot of people...
Well, she never gave an opening statement, and they gave her a minute, and she hemmed and hawed for most of it.
What you played here on the air, what I just heard, didn't sound that long of a pause, unless there's some other thing I didn't hear. I just heard what... I didn't consider that
Okay.
terribly humiliating.
Well, look, I'm not trying to
at all.
change your mind. I mean, if you like her, but I guess I don't really follow how her not being able to deal with the pressure of these questions or these issues is a good thing.
Because you pause, it doesn't mean you're not dealing with it. She was collecting, I guess, her thoughts, and there's, you know, we don't have any idea what it's like to go through what she's going through. She's probably getting all sorts of things that we don't even can't even imagine. So I don't see that's a reason to throw her out like she's not a valuable asset. She is a great asset.
Okay.
We need to honor her.
All right, Ann, thank you.
You know, Ann brings up a good point. It's about articulation, and if you look at Barack Obama, the whole thrust of why he appeals to people is how well he speaks, and he speaks off of teleprompters. And anytime you get him off a teleprompter, you automatically start seeing him hawing and humming about, well, you know, I'm not certain about that. So, and then the criticism to George Bush was he couldn't give a good answer. It was fractured in presentation, and I think that people are going to look at Jan Brewer and give her one out. They're going to say, well, she had a bad night, but if she continues to do this over the next 60 days, then all of a sudden I think it'll set in. So I think from Ann's standpoint, people that are not in political settings, sometimes they do struggle with their public speaking, and you shouldn't just be critical of them because their presentation wasn't sound, because we've already seen that. We've got a president that speaks as well as any president that we've ever had in this country, but there's not a lot of bench behind him. And, you know,
and it also brings out that there's a sympathy factor when you really, really, really go down in flames. Maybe in some weird way that actually works. Maybe it was almost better that it was a total flame out as opposed to just a botched answer or the beheadings thing. Yeah. This almost is like, and I do think it's a frailty thing. I think we automatically sympathize and identify when we see somebody struggling.
We have.
This is the worst idea I think I've heard all week. They opened a new workout facility in San Diego this week called the Greenasium. Have you heard about this?
No.
The Greenasium.
A green gym?
Yeah. Well, listen to this. The spin bikes, you know, the aerobic bikes, are hooked into the power grid. So when you are pedaling, you are supplying power
to the whole gym,
to the city of San Diego.
Oh,
now I've got enough workout guilt as it is. Now I have to think that if I skip a workout, some kid's nightlight won't come on. I don't need that kind of pressure.
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure. But at least it's not recycled shorts. Or
they have a blackout, and everybody's going, "Why didn't you go to the gym?"
And of course, you know, this will be great in San Diego because, you know, fitness in San Diego. I mean, they're all so skinny and perfect. Imagine that here in San Antonio. We'd be in a constant blackout all the time. There'd be no power here at all.
Where's the wind?
550 KTSA.